Welcome everyone. Welcome to the advanced course. Um, as you know, learning English is potentially advantageous and lucrative. It's a professional move for many people, actually for everyone, because English is so widely spoken across the globe and because so many business transactions and other exchanges occur using the medium of English. Of course, we are not talking about living in America or England. Everyone these days uh, speaks English, okay? So it's only logical that those who are proficient and confident users of the English language are so appealing to employers. Let's talk about our course. This course will help you improve your reading, listening, writing, and speaking. So we will be talking about the four skills, but that's not all. We will also work on your vocabulary. Okay. Um, you're going to learn around 500 new words in this course. Of course, for the advanced level student. Okay. These words are not for beginners or intermediate students. Okay. Improving your vocabulary will improve your skills. You will be able to express yourself better in English. Um, and the more you learn, the more you will get better in the language. Okay. Successful communication or saying what you mean is dependent on a good vocabulary base. So this is one of the objectives of the course, to build or improve your vocabulary base. Using the right words when talking makes you a more effective communicator. Okay. So how do you do that? How do you build your vocabulary base? You build your vocabulary base by reading and listening, by improving your receptive skills. So you can work on your productive skills like writing and speaking. Okay, as we said before, we don't have any grammar lessons in the advanced course. Okay, we will only be focusing on the four skills and vocabulary. Okay. Um, we will talk about different topics in the reading and listening part of the course. Science and technology, like today's lesson about Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking. We'll talk about topics um, health, education, and politics, among other things. Okay. Then we will learn we will learn more about how to write. We will learn more about writing. We already know the four types of sentences, right? But in this course, we learn how to build and write the different types of paragraphs and essays. Okay, unlike the intermediate course, we will also talk about the four different types of sentences. But in this course, we will focus on how to write, how to actually sit down and write something. تمام? Okay. So we will end the course with lessons about how to express your opinions and talk about people. This is going to help you improve your speaking. Okay. So let's begin. Of course, we have 10 lessons about reading, 10 reading lessons, and around 14 writing lessons. Okay. So this course is going to help you a lot. The first lesson today, we will talk about science and technology. Of course, when I mean science, I'm talking about Stephen Hawking. And when I talk about technology, I will talk about Elon Musk. Okay. So let's begin. Elon Musk once said, when something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. I like this guy a lot. I like this technologist. Elon Musk is a South African born American businessman. He became a millionaire in his 20s. Um, Now he has two of the biggest companies in the world, namely SpaceX and Tesla Motors. His net worth is estimated, get this, to be about $185 billion. So he's not just rich, he's wealthy, okay? So he's a billionaire, but he's a self made billionaire, okay? He didn't inherit money from his family or something. He made it all himself. We can say that he had a vision for a better future when he was young, and he has been working on this vision until now. He's working to revolutionize transportation both on Earth and in space. This is something that he has always wanted. That's why he created SpaceX and Tesla Motors. Okay. Um, don't think for a minute that because he's a genius that he didn't fail. Actually, he failed many times before. When his company SpaceX tried to launch rockets into space, I think they exploded one or twice, maybe three times. I'm not sure, but he failed a lot. He almost lost everything in 2008. But when the company successfully launched a state-of-the-art rocket into Earth's orbit, everything changed. Okay. Even his company, Tesla Motors, had many failures with the electric car models. Now things are different, and their electric car models are more advanced than before. Uh, Elon Musk is also an engineer, but but when he was young, he used to read for hours every day. He's always been fascinated by technology. He even coded a video game when he was 12 years old and sold it for $500. Can you imagine that? Before any of us, this was 37 years ago, I think, because he is almost 50 right now. So this happened before any of us even know about information technology or programming. So um, he has always been a genius, of course. His IQ is estimated to be 155. Okay, so he's pretty smart. Um, he believes that steering wheels will soon be outdated by a new technology. He once talked about this on YouTube. Um, but his ideas are, we can say right now, they are crazy. Okay, but we don't know what the future holds. Um, Musk said that trying to communicate with aliens from other planets will not end well for any of us. He also believes that AI, artificial intelligence, will be the end of humanity as we know it. Okay. Actually, I believe so myself. Anyway, let's first take a look at our vocabulary. We need to learn these words before we continue to the reading part of our session. Okay. Entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is a person with ambitious ideas who creates new products or businesses and usually takes financial risks because those ideas are unusual or new. This is what it means. An entrepreneur, someone with ambitious ideas, they create new businesses and products like Elon Musk. He created SpaceX um, to SpaceX and Tesla Motors, okay, because he is very interested in transportation, both on Earth and in space, which is crazy. Some people might think that he is nuts, but actually he's genius. Most entrepreneurs are looking for new ideas. Okay. The second word, obsolete. 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 I can give you an example first. Due to the advancement in technology, most computers become obsolete after a few years, maybe 5 or 7 years. Okay, so what does it mean, obsolete? In this example, I'm telling you that because of the advancement in technology, most computers need to be replaced after a few years. They are outdated by something better, something more advanced. Okay, I got my computer about 5 years ago, so maybe in 2 or 3 years it will be obsolete. Okay, so obsolete means no longer used because it's replaced by something better and more advanced. Okay. Fascinated. Fascinated, of course, is an adjective. Um, it means very interested or attracted by something or someone. Okay. I can say that I am fascinated by the idea of alternative energy sources, especially solar energy. So when I'm saying that I'm fascinated with the idea of alternative energy sources, um, I mean that I'm very interested in alternative energy sources. I'm attracted to this idea. Okay, I keep thinking about it all the time because I like it a lot. Okay, So the fourth word, treacherous. Treacherous. Actually, it has two meanings, but we will talk about one of them only because of our session. We need to focus on the meanings related to our session only, okay, or our lesson. Treacherous means very dangerous, especially because the dangers are not obvious. You can't actually notice them easily, okay? So I can say, for example, the road to becoming an entrepreneur is often a treacherous one. So I'm saying that the road to becoming an entrepreneur is often a dangerous one, okay? Filled with unexpected detours and dead ends. Okay. So treacherous means very difficult, very dangerous because the dangers are not obvious. You can't easily notice them. Okay. Um, in the example I gave you, I said because the road to becoming an entrepreneur is often a treacherous one, filled with what unexpected detours and dead ends. Dead end, as an expression, you can use it to describe a job. You can say, I'm stuck in a dead end job, which means that you work in a job that has no future. Okay. It's called dead end job, a dead end job. Okay. Let's move on. Colonization. Colonization. It's actually the process of sending people to a new place to establish a colony and to live there, like the British did years ago. They went to America and established colonies. Okay. I believe that space colonization might be the only future for our species. I think Elon Musk said this once. He said, I believe that space colonization might be the only future for our species. Okay. Potential. Potential is the possibility to achieve something in the future. Okay, this is what it means. The possibility to achieve something in the future. It's the possibility for future success. Okay, so I can say, for example, as a scientist, I haven't yet reached my full potential. I haven't yet reached my full potential. So, in this sentence, I mean that I haven't yet achieved the most that I am capable of. There is so much to do. Okay, I can do more. Okay, venture. We have venture as a word and venture capitalists. Let's begin with venture. Venture is a new business activity that might be risky. Okay, venture alone, it means a new business activity that might be risky. Our new venture will allow you to order our products online. Our new venture will allow you to order our products online. This is an example. Okay. But what about venture capitalists or even just capitalists? A wealthy person who invests in companies exhibiting high growth potential. Okay. So someone who is very rich, he invests his money by helping maybe small companies, but not just any companies. No, only the companies exhibiting high growth potential. They know that these companies will be successful in the future, maybe after a year or even 10. Okay. Let's move on. Endeavor. Endeavor means an attempt to achieve something which is usually difficult or new. An attempt, okay, an attempt to achieve something. Okay. It's like you try to do something. Okay. This is what we call an endeavor. I could say that enthusiasm is a vital ingredient in all human endeavors. Okay. Bankruptcy. Bankruptcy, um, actually, this word has a synonym, insolvency, but this word is very formal. Insolvency. Insolvency. It's the state of not having enough money to pay one's bills and debts. Okay. So your company, maybe you or your company or even the country itself, like Greece, has not enough money to pay its debt. Okay. Aerospace. Aerospace can be used as a noun or as an adjective. If you use it as a noun, it means the atmosphere of the earth and the space beyond it. Okay, the atmosphere of the earth and the space beyond it. But if you use this word as an adjective, it means anything related to the science of business of building planes and space vehicles. Okay, so it's related to the science of building space vehicles and aeroplanes. I could say that aerospace engineering is the primary field of engineering concerned with the development of aircraft and spacecraft. Of course, when I say aircraft and spacecraft, uh, these two words are irregular nouns. The singular is the same as the plural. Okay, so aircraft could mean um, just one uh, aeroplane, and it could mean many. The same goes for spacecraft. Okay. Now let's take a look at our exercise. This is a matching exercise. You need to. I need you now to pause the video. Okay, and try to do this matching exercise alone on your own. Then come back and see if you got them all correct. Okay. So pause the video right now. Okay. Now I'm going to do this exercise. Entrepreneur. Okay, we said that an entrepreneur is someone with ambitious ideas who creates businesses and products. Okay, but he takes financial risks because those ideas are new or unusual or maybe difficult to accomplish and so on. So, which one of these can go with A? Okay. Um, of course, I used different sentences, okay, different definitions. I would say it would go with 5. An individual who creates a new business, bearing most of the risks and enjoying most of the rewards. Okay. Number 2, potential. We agreed that potential is a possibility or the possibility to achieve something in the future. So it goes with number 7, the possibility of achieving something in the future. Venture capitalist. A venture capitalist is someone who invests in companies, okay, that can be or will be successful in the future. Okay, so it would go with 9, a person or company that invests in a business venture by providing capital for startups with high potential for growth. Okay, what about D, aerospace? Aerospace, it would go with 3, the science of business of building aircraft and spacecraft. Okay. I'm sorry, it should say the science or business of. I'm sorry, this is or, not of. Okay. Obsolete. Obsolete. We said that obsolete means outdated. Okay. Something that's replaced by something more advanced. Okay. So it would go with no 10, no longer in use because it's outdated. No longer in use because it's outdated. Okay, what about bankruptcy? Bankruptcy, it would go with, we said that bankruptcy is having not enough money to pay one's debts. Okay, so it would go with a legal process through which people or companies who cannot repay debts may seek relief from some or all of their debts. When they declare bankruptcy, they can seek relief of some of their debts. Of course, not all, but some. Okay, what about fascinated? We said I'm fascinated with the idea of alternative energy sources. Okay, it fascinates me. So it would go with becoming very interested, number 6, by something you read, heard, or experienced. Okay, you become very interested or attracted by things. Okay, what about endeavor? An endeavor is an attempt to do something um, new or difficult. Okay, so it will go with 4, number 4, the attempt to do something new or difficult. Treacherous. Treacherous. We said that treacherous means very dangerous. Okay, so it would go with number one, very dangerous, and the dangers are not often clear. The dangers are not obvious. Okay, colonization. Colonization, it comes from the word colony and colonize, the verb. Um, so it will go with mm, sending people to colonize a new place. Sending people to colonize a new place. So let's now move on to the reading part. Of course, I will be uploading the MP3 files to help you with the listening. Now, let's read this passage. Elon Musk is an entrepreneur and self made billionaire who uses his wealth to explore the future of technology. Over the years, Musk has made several predictions about our future on Earth and in space. He believes that steering wheels will soon become obsolete. I want you to notice the collocations used in this passage, okay? Become obsolete or go obsolete, okay? Um, Also, do we have other collocations here? Self-made billionaire, okay? Um, has made several predictions. So make predictions or make a prediction. Um, okay, that's it. And artificial intelligence, AI, will be humans' greatest threat. Elon Musk was born in South Africa on June 8, 1971. His father is South African and his mother is Canadian. Musk was fascinated by technology from an early age. At 12 years old, he coded his own video game and sold it for $500. 5 years later, he moved to Canada to avoid mandatory military service. I think later he moved to the United States. Actually, I'm sure, yeah. So can you imagine that at 12 years old, he coded, he developed, he programmed his own video game and sold it for $500. As we said, that was nearly 37 years ago. Musk began his undergraduate studies at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. He later transferred to the University of Pennsylvania and earned degrees, get this, in economics and physics. He was accepted into Stanford University to do a PhD, but dropped out after 2 days to start his own company. I think he said to himself, enough with the degrees. I have had enough. Musk's first profitable enterprise was Zip2, an online city guide software, which he co-created with his brother, Kimball. So he had a brother called Kimball. Musk sold, and obviously, um, Kimball. I don't know much about Kimball, but I think he's as smart as his brother. Musk sold the company for $307 million and used his profits to start X.com, the electronic payment service that later became PayPal. When eBay bought PayPal in 2002 for $1.5 billion, Musk owned 11% of the shares. Space Exploration Technologies, this is the name of his company, SpaceX, was Elon Musk's next big venture. Musk's fascination, we could say that venture means a business adventure, maybe something like that. Musk's fascination with transportation and the potential for space colonization inspired him to read books on how to build rockets. Can you imagine that? Because he was fascinated with space colonization and transportation, he read books about how to build rockets. In 2012, SpaceX Dragon capsule became the first commercial spacecraft to dock on the International Space Station. Since venture capitalists are often hesitant to invest in space technology, Musk used all of his money and resources to finance his rockets. So he got help from no one. He didn't take any loans or anything. He didn't even ask the government for help. While overseeing his aerospace company, SpaceX, Musk also ran Tesla Motors. My God, he is genius. An electric car company. In 2006, Tesla made history. This is a collocation. Make history when it released its Roadster, an electric car that could travel, get this, 245 miles on a single charge. In 2018, SpaceX made headlines. Here we have two collocations: make history and make headlines. When it successfully sent Musk's own personal Roadster into orbit on his latest reusable rocket. It's called Falcon Heavy. This is a reusable rocket, okay? Exploration and innovation are costly endeavors. And despite his accomplishments, Musk's net worth dropped 17% in a single month in 2018. And Tesla Inc. neared bankruptcy. Only time will tell what the future holds for this world famous visionary who believes that today's failure is tomorrow's success. This was the reading passage, okay? Um, just as a side note, visionaries like Elon Musk, who used their wealth to finance technology and explorations, are sometimes referred to as thrillionaires, which is a combination of the words thrill and billionaires, okay? Now let's move to our next part of our lesson. We will talk about Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking was one of the most known scientists in the world. He was, he was a theoretical physicist and a cosmologist. He spent his life trying to understand our universe and the origin of our universe. He also wrote books for everyday readers, not just for scientists, to help them understand the basic laws of physics. Of course, he was British and he studied physics at Oxford. He got his PhD from Cambridge University. So he studied at two of the greatest universities on the planet. As he was doing his PhD, he was diagnosed with ALS. This is a disease that affects muscle control. Um, I think his IQ was 165, so he was even smarter than Elon Musk. As he was doing his PhD, he was diagnosed with ALS, as we said. Um, this disease is terminal. Actually, doctors told him that he has only 2 years to live or something like that. He continued to study his PhD. Actually, he was stubborn and he lived for years after that. He had many scientific breakthroughs. He changed the way we think about the universe, about time, space, and even black holes. After he lost his ability to speak, I think that was in 85, a custom built computer was constructed. I think at Cambridge. Cambridge University did that. They constructed a computer, a custom built computer, to help him communicate through a synthesized electronic voice. He was able to speak around or to communicate around 15 words per minute. Um, so his life was unusual in every way. He was married twice and he had 3 kids or children. He wasn't just a professor of applied physics and mathematics at Cambridge. No, he was also a celebrity who made appearances on many TV shows like The Big Bang Theory, which is a comedy show, a sitcom show about a group of scientists. He was very funny in this. He appeared, I think, in maybe 4 or 5 episodes. He also was in Star Trek, which is a sci-fi movie. He also thought that every day after he had been diagnosed with ALS was a bonus. Like Elon Musk, he believed that the existence, actually, he believed in the existence of alien life forms out there in the vast universe. Um, and he said that any attempt to communicate with them would be dangerous. They might have malicious intentions. We don't know for sure, of course. Although he was very interested in AI, like Elon Musk, but he was very cautious about the development of human level AI. He advised against it. Now let's look at the vocabulary or the words that we need to understand the passage. And also for your homework, there is a listening task about Stephen Hawking. Okay, so let's look at these words: cosmology, ALS, Big Bang Theory, incompatible, evaporate. Okay, cosmology, ALS, Big Bang Theory, incompatible, evaporate. This is a surgical procedure. Okay, we'll talk about these vocabulary, these words. Tracheotomy, okay. Thrive, synthesizer, black hole, the event horizon. Just before I continue, I need to say something. In this part of the lesson, you will learn a lot of vocabulary that are related to science, but in fact, you need to know about them. Okay, we are not talking about specific scientific accomplishments. Okay, we are talking about a general idea of what Stephen Hawking did. So we need to know what a black hole is. We need to know what the event horizon is, theoretical physics, and so on. Theoretical physics, gravity, deteriorate, just shy of, this is of course not a word, it's an expression, extraterrestrial, phenomenon, okay, hypothesize. These are the words that we need to learn. Let's begin with cosmology. Cosmology is the science of the origin of the universe. It's a branch of astronomy concerned with the study of the origin and evolution of the universe. Okay, so Stephen Hawking was a cosmologist. Okay, he was a theoretical physicist and a cosmologist. We will talk about the difference between these two. ALS. ALS, it's abbreviation for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. This is a nervous system disease that affects the brain, causing loss of muscle control. It's progressive, which means that the symptoms get worse over time. Okay. Actually, Stephen Hawking lost the ability to move or even speak. That's why he was in a wheelchair. Anyway, the Big Bang Theory. Okay. This is a theory about the universe, how it began, and so on. It's the widely accepted idea that the universe began as a tiny particle that exploded outward and continues to expand. So this theory says that the universe continues to expand. The distance between planets and galaxies is getting bigger with time. Okay, it's the leading explanation of how the universe began. Incompatible. If ideas systems or machines are incompatible with each other, they don't work or exist together. Okay, because of basic differences between them. For example, if you try to open an Android file from Google Play on your computer, it would say that this file is incompatible with the operating system, with the Windows operating system. Okay, so I can't open the file because it's incompatible with my operating system. Okay, evaporate. Actually, this word has two meanings. The one that we are interested in for the sake of our lesson, to cease to exist, to vanish. Hawking believed that black holes can evaporate and get smaller. So he believed that black holes can cease to exist, can vanish, can end. Okay. The other meaning, if a liquid evaporates, then it changes its form. Okay, it turns to gas or steam. Okay. Tracheotomy. This is a surgical procedure to improve a blocked airway, in which a hole is cut in the person's trachea in the windpipe, okay, to let air into their lungs. It's usually done to deliver oxygen to the lungs directly. Okay, thrive. Thrive is a word. Of course, it's a verb. It means to do well or to become happy and strong when you depend on something that drives you. We can say that some people thrive on challenge while others thrive on conflict. I personally thrive on attention and care. So, thrive means to do well in some circumstances. Okay, so we can say that some people thrive on love. Okay, so if they are in a relationship, they would do well academically and in their social life and so on. Okay, while others thrive on conflict. Some people just love to live in conflict. Okay, so they do well when they live in conflict. Okay, they will excel academically and in social life and so on. Okay, synthesizer. Synthesizer. This is an electronic device that mixes and produces sounds. Actually, Stephen Hawking used a speech synthesizer to communicate with the world. This is the custom computer, the custom built computer that Cambridge developed or created for him. Okay, black hole. We'll talk about these two in the next slide anyway. Theoretical physics. It's a branch of physics that uses mathematics and observation of the universe to create complex formulas that describe the workings of the universe around us. So it has to do with theory. Okay, they are not actually doing anything. Okay, they are just observing how the universe work and trying to come up with theories about it. That's it. On the other hand, applied physics, there's another branch in physics called applied or experimental physics. Okay, uh, this branch of physics is concerned with designing experiments to prove or disprove the accuracy of theoretical physics findings. Okay, so we have actually we have many branches in physics, but the ones that we are interested in for the sake of our lesson: theoretical physics and applied or experimental physics. Theoretical physics is all about theory. Okay, these scientists observe the universe around us. They come up with mathematical equations and physics equation and so on to try to explain how the universe work. Okay. On the other hand, applied physics, it's also called experimental physics, is concerned with designing experiments. Actually, they use tools and maybe machines and so on. Okay. Of course, they get help from engineers. They do that to prove or disprove the findings of the theoretical physicist. Okay. So let's move on. Gravity. Gravity. Actually, let's move on to this one first. Let's take phenomenon first. A phenomenon, okay, is something that can be seen. Okay, something that exists and can be seen or observed, and it's usually something new or unusual. Okay, it might have existed for centuries. Okay, but we have noticed and we have experienced it now. Okay, so I can say that gravity is a natural phenomenon. Gravity is a natural phenomenon. Actually, of course, gravity has always existed. Okay, and it will exist in the future, of course. But when I say that gravity is a natural phenomenon, I mean that this is something that we have noticed and learned about when someone observed it. Okay, so this is what it means, a phenomenon. Okay, gravity is a natural phenomenon by which all things with mass are pulled to one another. This is gravity. Okay, when you drop something, it falls. Okay, because of the force of gravity. Deteriorate. Deteriorate. Of course, it's a verb. and deteriorated is the adjective. You just add D to the word, to the verb. It means to become worse or to get worse. I can say that because the weather deteriorated, the game was cancelled. Okay, so it means to become worse or to get worse. Just shy of. This is, of course, not a word, it's an expression. And it means just slightly less than. So when I talk about El Ahly, for example, and I say that they scored just shy of 20 goals this season, I mean that they scored just slightly less than 20 goals this season, maybe 19 or 18. Okay, this is what it means. Extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial. This word means aliens. Okay, other life forms who might live on other planets. Okay, we assume that they exist. Of course, some people don't believe they do. Okay. Okay. Hypothesize. Hypothesize is a verb, and it means to suggest an explanation for something. Okay, based on the information that you already have right now, but you are not sure that your explanation or your findings are correct or not. You don't know. You can't know. Okay, when you suggest some explanation about black holes, for example, you can't actually go to a black hole and test your theory. Okay, you can never do that, of course. Let's move on to what is a black hole. What is a black hole? A black hole, of course, we have all heard about black holes. A black hole is a dense vacuum-like object in space. It has such strong gravity that nothing can escape from it, not even light. The closest anything can get without being sucked into a black hole is called the event horizon. This is the point of no return. If you approach, if you reach this point, you can't go back. Okay, because the gravity of a black hole is so strong that it will suck everything in. Okay, so you can't escape from it if you reach the event horizon. Okay, let's look at the matching exercise. I want you to pause the video. Okay, try to do the exercise on your own, then come back and see if you got them all correct. Okay, cosmology. Cosmology. We said that cosmology is the science of the origin of the universe. Okay, so it would go with a branch of astronomy concerned with the study of the universe. Okay. Okay, gravity. Gravity, as we said, is a natural phenomenon, a natural force. Okay, that pull things to each other. Okay, so it will go with it's number 11. It's the force by which a planet or other body draws objects toward its center. Okay, that's why when you drop something, it falls. Okay, it's trying to reach the center of the earth. Okay, just shy of. Of course, it goes with number 1, just less than. Extraterrestrial. As we said, extraterrestrial beings believed by some people to come from other planets. I believe that extraterrestrial life forms exist somewhere in the universe. I personally, as Michael, I believe so. So D would go with 2. Aliens who might exist on other planets far away. I said who might exist because we don't have evidence that they exist. Okay, so I have to say might exist. Hypothesize. Hypothesize is a verb, and we said it means to suggest something, okay, based on the information that you have, but you are not sure if this is true or not. It would go with number 9, to suggest a possible explanation for something based on the information that you have. but without knowing for sure whether the explanation is really true or not. Okay? Thrive. Thrive means to do well. Okay? So it would go with 7, to do well in a particular environment or situation. As we said in our example, some people thrive on conflict. Okay? So I thrive on attention and care. So this is specific environment. Okay, if you live in a house filled with love and care, you would thrive. Okay, and so on. ALS, ALS, it's a disease, as we said. It's the abbreviation for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Okay, this is the disease that affects the brain. It's a nervous system disease. It affects the brain and muscle control. Big Bang Theory, or the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory would go with okay, 15, number 15. The theory that hypothesizes, and there is a missing S, I'm sorry, that the universe started as a tiny particle, okay, then exploded outward, okay, and continues to expand. That's the Big Bang Theory in its simplest terms. Tracheotomy, J would go with, as we said, this is a surgical procedure. It's an operation, okay. 6, it will go with 6. A surgical procedure that is done to deliver oxygen to the lungs directly. Okay. Okay. Incompatible. We said that it means, of course, it's an adjective, and it means that if two things are incompatible with each other, they don't work together. They can't work together. Okay, because there are differences between them. Okay, so incompatible would go with 10. Can't exist with something else because of basic differences. Okay, these differences, these basic differences, can't make the two things work together. Okay, like when you try to open a Windows operating system file, okay, on Android, and or vice versa. Evaporate. L, phenomenon. Phenomenon. What is a phenomenon? Okay. A phenomenon is something that exists and can be seen or observed, and it's usually something new or unusual. Okay. So phenomenon. Um, it will go with 14. Something that can be seen to happen or exist. Okay. Evaporate. We said that this word, this verb, has 2 meanings. Okay, but we are here interested only in one. Evaporate. Cease to exist. Okay, it will go with 12. Theoretical physics. Theoretical physics will go with 8. Aims to understand and predict phenomena. This is the plural of phenomenon. Okay, it's an irregular noun. Aims to understand and predict phenomena in the physical world based on a conceptual and mathematical understanding of the laws of the universe. Okay. Deteriorate will go with 4. To worsen or to get weaker. Okay. Now we are done with the exercise. Let's take a look at this passage about Stephen Hawking. We will have, as we said before, there's a listening task in our homework for today's lesson about Stephen Hawking. So let's begin. Stephen Hawking was regarded as one of the most brilliant theoretical physicists in history. As a cosmologist, his work on the origins and structure of the universe, from the Big Bang to black holes, revolutionized the field. His best-selling books have appealed to readers who may not have Hawking's scientific background. So actually, he wrote books for everyday readers, okay, for people like me and you. In early 1963, just shy of his 21st birthday, Hawking was diagnosed with motor neuron disease, more commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS. He was not expected to live more than 2 years. Completing his doctorate didn't appear likely back then. Yet, Hawking defied the odds, not only attaining his PhD, but also forging new roads into the understanding of the universe in the decades since. In 1974, Hawking unified two seemingly incompatible theories: general relativity and quantum theory, also called quantum gravity theory. He hypothesized that black holes could evaporate and get smaller, known as Hawking radiation. So, his hypothesis that black holes could vanish or cease to exist and get smaller, this is the what's called or known as Hawking radiation. As the disease spread, Hawking became less mobile and began using a wheelchair because this disease affects muscle control. Okay, talking grew more challenging, and in 1985, an emergency tracheotomy caused his total loss of speech. A speech generating device constructed at Cambridge, combined with a software program, served as his electronic voice, allowing Hawking to select his words by moving the muscles in his cheek. Stephen Hawking believed in the existence of extraterrestrials. As we said, extraterrestrials is aliens. Okay? This word means aliens. Several hundred light years away. By the way, a light year is a unit of distance, not time. Okay? It's how light travels in space. Actually, it equals to 9.5, almost 9.5 trillion kilometers. Okay, so it's a unit of distance, not time. If you say that there is a spaceship that travels 5 light years, for example, then you will multiply 5 by 9.5 trillion kilometers. Okay, but he was cautious about others attempting to communicate with them. He voiced concerns that they could be hostile to humans. He also had concerns about artificial intelligence, AI, and he once said that human level AI will either be the best or worst thing to happen to humanity. Hawking also was also a celebrity who made many appearances on several TV shows, including The Simpsons, Star Trek, and The Big Bang Theory. His synthesized voice became one of the world's most recognized voices. Stephen Hawking had a significant impact on theoretical physics and our understanding of the universe. He passed away on March 14, 2018. So this was the reading, okay, about Stephen Hawking. Um, just before we end our lesson, these are 4 idioms related to science and English. We have many science-related idioms in English, okay? These are some of them. Light years ahead. When you describe or when you talk about something as light years ahead, it means it's very advanced compared to others, okay? Um, I could say the technological advancements made by the Japanese are light years ahead of anything we have, okay? It means so much advanced than our technology. Of course, the word technological is an adjective, okay? Technology is the noun and technological is the adjective. Get or have one's wires crossed. Imagine that you are an artificially made robot or something, okay? That you are AI. So you would have wires in your brain, okay? If these wires are crossed, okay, are replaced, okay, then you would be confused. Okay, so get one's wires crossed. It means to become confused. I'm sorry, I hadn't slept for 2 days and I got my wires crossed. Not rocket science. As you all know, the field of rocket science is complex, difficult, and yeah, for genius people only. Okay, so if I talk about something as not rocket science, I mean it's the complete opposite. It's not difficult at all. Studying English is not rocket science. Actually, it's pretty easy. Okay, so I'm saying that it's not difficult at all. Okay, this is not rocket science. Okay, not the brightest bulb. Not the brightest bulb is an idiom, okay? And we can describe someone as not the brightest bulb. It means not very intelligent, okay? Um, this is our process, how you will study the lesson. You will practice reading the sentences and the passages, okay? Once and twice and so on. Listen to the audio files a few times. Do the homework, okay? Then we will meet on Fridays to talk about the homework, okay? Thank you for watching the lesson. Stay tuned for our next lessons. I wish you all the best and see you soon.